Welcome to the first recording related to our Kata number 9. Today I would like to go with you through the educational materials that we had, how they can be used to solve the Kata case, some assumptions and the context that is there, and the specific solutions for this Kata case that of course might be different depending on some assumptions that you are taking. I'm really looking forward to hear your feedback on this video because this is the first video we're recording as a follow-up on the Kata, and I really love to make it useful for you so you can better understand how those Kata cases can be solved and you can learn more out of it. So let's keep going. And just before that, please remember there will be also video recordings with our jury members. Please watch them because they're sharing their experience on how the specific case might be solved. So let's start. First of all, if you just take a look into the educational materials, you will see that we have three things. The first of all is cost of delay. And for cost of delay, you can ask yourself two simple questions. What if this functionality delivered as planned? It means a positive motivation, what you will gain out of it. And the second one is what if it's not delivered or got postponed? What and how we will lose. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's reputation, it might be something else, it might be market share, whatever it is. And as you can see there, there is a framework from Stephen Covey, which is called Dependency to Independence and Interdependence, which is slightly different from what most probably you get used to into the software engineering. So for example, in software engineering, of course, you heard about the dependencies. You heard a lot about autonomy or stream-aligned teams from the team topologies, and also heard a lot about the alignment. And autonomy might be compared to independence, and alignment might be partially compared to the interdependence. You will see how this framework of those three simple principles might be used to solve the case in a different ways depending on the context that you have. And the third one is, of course, team topologies. Most probably heard about it. Each of our juries told it's a really important book to read and knowledge for every engineering manager to know. The second one, but at the same time, maybe even more important, there are some assumptions that inside this case. And I definitely encourage you for each Kata to challenge those assumptions. And very often in a Kata, there might be even questions that you expected to challenge. So for example, some assumptions that is there. To deliver Sweden integration is more important than tax cloud integration. Because of what? Is because the objective itself is bigger. It doesn't mean that it brings more value to the business or cost of delay is bigger. The second one is it also might be an impression that the cost of delay of Sweden has a former fixed date. And usually people are coming up to these assumptions because we're working with OKRs. It means you have to deliver to this specific time, which might not be the case, which might be that you can sometimes postpone it because cost of delay is something else. The next one is there is a challenge as it came like for you as part of in this Kata is to solve problem before it appears, and reality such it really depends on the cost of delay. So for example, in intangibles there is no need to solve the problem too early in advance and so on. I mean, if you're talking about the fixed time. And regarding the educational materials, what you also can how you can use to solve this Kata case. First of all is understanding the business impact. How does this cost of delay look like? So let's imagine we're still, we can, for our cases that will go further and how it can be solved, let's use that this cost of delay is fixed date, like the most difficult one. The second one, choose a collaboration approach. For example, dependence. It also might be a collaboration approach. There is a challenge with it, and it is not that challenge is not that someone might not deliver what you need in time, in a quality and so on which you need it, but the problem is that most probably you cannot almost anything to do with it. So this is the biggest challenge. So it's like you're fully dependent. Independence, if you go for this one, there are different levels of independence. You can plan and predict, and it's way easier to achieve it. Interdependence is, it's higher probability of achieving it, lower risks, but the same, it's way harder to achieve it. Sometimes it requires collaboration between different departments and so on. But if you manage to do it, of course, it's amazing. And it's like choosing one of those three approaches, from my personal opinion, is exactly the art of software engineering leadership. So let's go for specific solutions that might be there. Let's come up with assumptions and context. The first one is the cost of delay. Let's imagine it's a fixed date. And now we can move from dependence to independence to interdependence level. If you're going to the independence level, how it might look like is that team, fiscal compliance should be able to deliver functionalities themselves. It doesn't mean that team checkout won't help them. It means that this amount of the time required from team checkout is really, really small. So it even sometimes might be not counted. So for example, team fiscal compliance will deliver this functionality inside the checkout services themselves. They will write all the code and so on. They all just need from the checkout team to explain how to do it and do pull requests. That's pretty much it. It won't take a lot of time, maybe like 5 working days from the team checkout, but if you're taking an amount of 5 engineers for the whole quarter, it's almost nothing. In such a case, team checkout, team fiscal compliance most probably will deliver what they planned. At the same time, this capacity needs to be allocated, and most probably tax cloud integration needs to be postponed for the next quarter. The next one, if you're going from to interdependence level, there are different approaches that might be used. The first one might be easier using team topologies approach is to have checkout teams working as enabling teams. So for example, they're sending engineer for 1-2 months into the fiscal compliance team to deliver this functionality inside the checkout services. So it requires more collaboration. It requires shared objectives, what we call alignment, but this alignment is not so high. There might be another higher alignment. For example, it's that the objective for checkout and for fiscal compliance team becomes the same, and they need to deliver the Sweden integration first. It means that checkout needs to start working first on this initiative and delivering this integration, and only after that they will start working on their other objectives. So it's way harder to achieve it. So if you see it, this is a way to go from dependence to independence to interdependence. And as I mentioned to you, I believe it's an art to understand all of it, dive deeper in details. And another approach that might be here, I really like it, what was mentioned by Florian in the Kata, is to manage the damage. It could be that you started with independence approach and it all failed. You still have a month. Don't expect your manager to solve it, especially if your manager gets sick. You need to have a plan. You need to understand how to go with that. Most probably you will need to jump into the independence level, or ideally interdependence, but usually with the shorter the time, the more difficult it is to go to interdependence level. So if you will try to be independent with that, communicate with those who can understand the business impact, maybe do some business changes, maybe postpone it a little bit, allocate some resources from checkout and start developing it fully by your team, postpone some of the objectives that you have, and so on. This might be another approach to solve this Kata case. Hope you found this video useful. I'm looking forward to hear your feedback and see you on the next Kata meetup.